Well, hello everyone. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope all of your day is blessed. Everything that you do, I just hope that you are trusting the Lord and following His plan for your life today. And if you're doing that, at the end of the day, you end up in the winner's circle. You end up blessed because you cannot follow God, regardless of what it is. You cannot follow God and obey Him and not be blessed. Just can't do it. Well, hey, welcome to today's edition of Take 5. We're in the series that we've entitled Victory Over the Sin Nature. The message this week is guarding your thought life. Now, we're pulling that idea, guard your thought life. We're pulling that from Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, that says this: above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Now, we've learned that the word heart is interchangeable with our thoughts or thought life or mind or whatever. It's really the soul of man. It's where you'll find the seat of our emotions and the seat of our thoughts and the seat of our will, where we choose to do right and wrong. And all that's directly tied to our thinking. And that's why Paul said we must have a continually renewed mind. I don't know why I'm doing this cough. I apologize for it. So above all else, guard your thought life. Another translation says it this way: guard your heart or your thought life above all else, for it determines the course of your life. So it's important. That's why we need to do it. And still another translation says, above all, be careful what you think, because your thoughts control your life. Now, according to Solomon, we just read that from 3 different translations, and according to Solomon, guarding your thought life should take priority over everything else in a believer's life. We kept hearing the same thing over and over: above all else, above all else, above all. We kept hearing that. So it's essential that we make that a priority. Sadly, most believers don't make that a priority. We run after everything else. Now, I'll say this: we'll prioritize things that we enjoy. We'll prioritize, our hobbies and our habits. We'll prioritize TV and movies we like to watch and other pastimes. We'll prioritize that. My goodness, we'll even prioritize nap time, won't we? We prioritize everything except what the Bible tells us that should be number one on the list, and that is guarding our thought life. We really cannot afford to allow our sin nature to control the way we think about anything in life, physical or spiritual. Remember what we read from Jeremiah 17. The heart or the thought life is deceitful above all things. Who can know it? There's no telling the thing that our mind can come up with, so we need to guard it, especially if our mind is controlled by the sin nature. I want to give you 3 ways today, and 3 reasons rather, why you need to guard your thought life. If you think it's not important, I'm about to change that with what I'm going to tell you, because you need to understand just how important it is. Number 1, we guard our thought life because our thought life is extremely valuable. It's extremely valuable. Now, we don't guard worthless things. People take their trash and they put it out by the street and they never think anything else about it. They don't guard it to make sure that no one comes by and steals. As a matter of fact, if you put your trash out there, you don't care if somebody comes by and steals, as long as the stupid dog doesn't get in it, or a coon, that's okay. But just if somebody wants to steal it and take it, you're fine with that, because you do not value it. It holds no place in your life, and you don't care what happens to it. This cannot be the case with our thought life. Our thought life is so valuable that the Bible calls it our heart. It relates it to us in a very close manner. Our thoughts are the place where we decide to follow Jesus Christ. Our thoughts are the place where we answer the call to serve Him. They're the place where we choose between right and wrong, moment by moment of our lives. They are the place where we dream about doing good and great things for God, our family, our church, and the world. Our thoughts are valuable, and we must guard them. When we don't see the importance or value of guarding our thoughts and renewing them by the Word of God, the sin nature that's in all of us will take the reins and control our thinking. And when it does that, we'll only serve our flesh and sin and the devil. The value of a man's thought life decreases drastically when it's not guarded by the Word of God and when it only serves sin. As a matter of fact, Proverbs 10 and 20 says that the thoughts from the wicked are worthless. So number one, we guard our thought life because our thought life is valuable. Number two, we guard it because our thought life is the source of everything we do. Everything comes from it. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. In the King James Version, I believe it is, Solomon said that it's the wellspring of life. So it's the source of everything that we do. Real quick analogy. In this world, there are thousands and thousands of natural springs where water flows out of the earth and to the surface of the earth. And it comes from deep underground. It accumulates then in pools and springs and creeks and rivers. And it flows downstream and it brings life to everything that it touches for miles and miles. Now, if you plug up that spring and you stop the flow of water, or if you poison the water, the flow then becomes toxic. And in either situation, you threaten life downstream because everything depends on the condition of the spring. Well, that's the same with your thought life. If your thought life is unhealthy, if you don't guard it from being controlled by the sin nature, it will have an impact on everything else. It will affect everything that you do if you do not guard your thought life. It threatens your family, your marriage, your friends, your ministry, your career, your usefulness in the kingdom, and most importantly, it will affect your spiritual legacy. My friend, I can't say it enough. It is important that we guard our thought life because everything in our life flows from it and everything will be affected by it. And thirdly, today, our thought life is under constant attack, and so therefore we need to guard it with all that is within us. When Solomon says guard your heart, he's implying that we're living in a combat zone in which there have been many casualties and there will be many more. So many believers are oblivious of the reality of this war, but we have an enemy that is bent on our destruction, because he not only opposes God, but everything that that aligns itself with God, he opposes that as well, including you and I. And he will use our unrenewed mind against us in everything we do in life. So we must guard our thoughts. Let me tell you something. The believer's mind must not be a playground of the flesh. We need to recognize that it is the battlefield of faith. And this is where we must guard our thoughts so that we can be victorious in this life, just like Jesus said we could be. Hey, I've got to get out of here. It's been good being with you today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Thursday's edition of Take 5. Till then, God bless you. Have a great day. Hey, trust the Lord, my friend. He will never fail you.